Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Good morning. This is Dr. Erin from Los Angeles, California, teaching universal law and spiritual truth. So I just want to clarify that I'm a doctor of divinity. It's very important in this Western world to clarify that. We do it over and over again. So I hope you're having a wonderful, glorious morning, whether you're listening to this in the morning over coffee, maybe you're driving, maybe you'd like to listen to this on your lunch break or in the evening. I get lots of messages from people and it's all different stories. And I just want to say that it's so cool to think about all of my peeps, my tribe, this amazing community, all the conscious, extraordinary people out there that are connecting. We connect all the time energetically, right? Whether it be through all kinds of things, and just know I'm always with you on a spiritual level. Okay? So today's topic is you have divine right action within. You have divine right action within. You know what's right for you and not right for you. You know what's good and bad. You know this. So I just got back from a trip up to Santa Barbara for the weekend. I actually grew up in the mountains of Santa Barbara in what I like to call a pseudo-hippie commune. It really wasn't a commune, but it kind of was. We had our individual homes, but it was the leftovers from the 60s. I was, raised in the 70s up on the mountains, and it was like one big family. It was an open door. We didn't have phones back then. So everyone, literally the kids ran around barefoot, and we would just kind of go in and out of each other's homes. And I grew up with about 10 girlfriends that they're my sisters. They literally are my sisters. I've known them since before I was in diapers. And so the intention of this weekend was to go and hold space for two of my dear girlfriends. Their father passed away a couple years ago, and it was very, very emotional for them. It was a sudden death, and long story behind that, but it was a very intense kind of week we had together 2 years ago. And it was funny because none of the other 10 girls were just a random thing. I just happened to be there in the middle of all of it. And obviously as a spiritual leader, it was a real great place to practice and hold space for them. And they were very appreciative of it. So they were coming back because, long story, they finally got their father's home back, and they're very emotionally attached to it. They're emotionally attached to the entire mountain and still getting closer around their father. So I thought, well, I'll go up, go visit them, hold space, because the home is empty. They've decided to put it on the market, but they just didn't feel totally right about it. So they thought, well, let's go up, let's spend some time in the house, and we'll see what is revealed through our emotions or whatever's there. So we went and basically did glamping. We actually camped in their house, just the three of us. I was the only girl that was able to come. Most of our girlfriends are kind of all over the country now. So it just again happened that it was just me going to go up with them. And it was a real interesting time, because they've gone through so many emotions. When their father passed away 2 years ago, they kind of had a little bit of a battle with their stepmom, and they didn't get along with her. And she locked them out of the house and wouldn't let them into what was to be their home when their father passed away. And then she finally she basically just handed the keys over. She couldn't handle the house. And so it's been this roller coaster of emotions for these two gals, these two sisters of mine. So I thought, well, I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know if we're going to have to do a lot of prayer work, or if it's going to be really emotional, couple days up there, what it was like. And what's fascinating is that they were so grounded. They were so grounded. There was not any emotion, and they were in this real great space around it. And which brings me to the law of the day. And the law today is the law of rhythm, because every day we talk about a universal law. There's really only one universal law, and it's the law of cause and effect. It's the law of creation. It's how we manifest. But there's many different distinctions of that law. And one of those today is the law of rhythm. So life is an energetic flow of vibration that moves in cyclical manner. Day becomes night. Tides rise and fall, the heart beats in and out. This law brings balance and order through its centering equilibrium. Imagine like one of those ball things that swings off to the right, and it swings off to the left, and over time it just kind of comes slowly begins to just get more centered and go less it swings less all the way to the right and all the way to the left, and it comes all the way into the center. So this law brings balance and order through its centering equilibrium. Extreme beliefs, judgments, and intense actions are brought to neutral through this law process. And this is exactly what I see what happened with these gals. The truth is this, is that when you have such emotion, or you feel judged, or you judge, or you have such a strong feeling of all of it, it's like it comes in waves. And then it slowly, you get used to it. Isn't it amazing? Don't you know that? Like sometimes you just go through such extreme things, and it's almost like, then you're like, wow, I've experienced heaven on one extreme, and I've experienced hell on another extreme, and slowly it just all becomes like passé, like, I can handle this. And in that neutrality is where you get to have true free will. You get to have choice. And I know within you, there is divine right action. So as we sat there on that mountain for the weekend, and we did some hikes, and we lit some candles and had some nice conversations, some prayer work. And over time, as the weekend went on, they just said, we're both really okay with letting this home go. Letting this home go, it had an incredible place to hold for our childhood, for our father. And now the money to become out of this home is going to do both of our own families a lot of good. We'll be able to pay off debt or build, new things on our home, or have a rental unit, or whatever it is that's going to help our families thrive. And so within them, and the point of all of this is that there is divine right action. And the point is that the universe knew it wasn't right for their, stepmom that had only come into their father's life for a small amount of time, take what was created as a family. It just wasn't divine right action for the universe for whatever reason. She chose to move out, so it wasn't right for her for whatever reason. She knew it in her gut. And it was divine right action for that family home to be passed on to those two amazing women that was their family home for, forever. And so I know that today is a new day. We get to practice what is our truth. So today's daily spiritual practice is stop evaluating life and go into the silence, allowing Spirit to bring forth your divine right action. Because at first, my two girlfriends were kind of like evaluating everything. Should we not? What would it look like? And that's cool. We need to do that sometimes. But the reality is that we already know. There's like a knowing within us. And when we just kind of step away from the evaluation, go into some silence, and there's just something that feels right, whether it be about selling a home, whether it be about a relationship, whether it be about, anything, your career, where you want to live, what's the best decision for your health, all of that. There's divine right action. So today's spiritual practice is to stop evaluating, go into the silence, and allow yourself, Spirit, your higher self, to bring forth divine right action. Okay? And then today's challenge, because we are in this game of life, today's challenge is take a look at the choices you make from the perspective of how it affects all the people in your life. I challenge you to take a look at all the choices you've made for yourself, the life that you've created for yourself, and how it affects the people in your life. All of life is designed for your awakening to the greatest version of yourself. That's what we're here for. So sometimes we want material things. We want this, we want that. We want to keep the house, the family house. But is it in the best interest of you evolving consciously as a spiritual being? If it's just going to have you stuck and have you to manage a bunch of things, it may not be in your highest good. And it may not be the highest good for everyone in your life. And so if you want more abundance, I'm telling you, do what's right for not only you, but for the people around you. That's going to cause you to have a very fulfilled life. It's some spiritually based truth. And so on that note, I know today is the opportunity to recognize and step further into your own divine right action. Each of us has our own truth. And so if you benefit from this talk today, please like, share, and comment. Please give a good review on iTunes or Google Play. You can find my book at erinfallhaskell.com. It's just right on the header there. It says book, or you can go to /book on that. You can also get my free app that has 30 guided meditations and also has these podcasts that come directly to the app, so you don't have to find it every day. You can just go to drerin.tv. That's DRERIN.tv. Find it on there. You can also watch the show that's on Focus TV Network on drerinshow.com. Please send me any questions you have. We're going to be doing Q&As once a week. I'm also going to be going on Twitter to do the current events. So you can find me on there if you want to know some spiritual truth of what's going on as a human race, as individuals. You can look me up on Twitter. Going to be I'm doing that once a week as well. We don't know if it goes well, we may be turning it into some more segments on the show. So stay tuned for all this fun, exciting, conscious conversation, because that's what I know, that I love the conscious conversation. It's one of the must-haves in my life. So have the best day ever, knowing this is the right day. This is the best day of your life.